So welcome everybody to a super exciting webinar with Nick Vujicic. We are really lucky tonight because we're going to be in the company of one of the absolute most inspiring people on the planet. So Nick is an author, as you've seen, a beautiful singer, a motivational speaker. His videos have been seen and inspired hundreds of millions of people on YouTube. He has 10 million followers on Facebook. He's got a beautiful wife and family with 4 children. Nick, this is the exciting point. I'm in Odense in Denmark, the home of Hans Christian Andersen. Nick is in Austin in Texas. Are you there?
Hello everyone, love you. Thank you, Alan. It's wonderful to see you.
Yeah, we've missed you. It's been a few years since you were in our lovely country.
I can't wait to come back. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope that this little Q&A session encourages you a little bit.
Yeah. So Nick, your life changed with a conversation you had with your school janitor. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, you know, my dad and mom always told me when I was a kid that I'm going to have to become financially independent because I'm going to need to have my own support system around me, and I would have to make sure that I would be a millionaire. As a young lad, I knew that, and they said, go into accounting, go into financial planning, go into the stock market and real estate, and then have employees to be your hands and feet. And it was incredible, wise counsel from mom and dad who didn't give me everything I wanted when I wanted it and how I wanted it. But little did they know that this little boy of theirs would travel around the world more than they could ever imagine, because simply a janitor looked at me one day after I just got voted in by my peers as a student government body representative as a 17-year-old. And he said, Nick, you just got voted in? I said, yes. He said, congratulations, you're going to be a worldwide speaker. And I said, excuse me? I had never thought that I'd ever become a speaker and never travel around the world and talk about hope. Because as the music video said, I actually felt like I had no hope when I was a kid. And he was so adamant, Alan, about, Nick, let me arrange the first speaking engagement of Nick Vujicic here at the school. And I said, no way. And so for 3 months I said no, and he twisted my arm and I said yes. And people started crying and I was very nervous. My palms were sweaty, my knees were shaking. And as people started crying, you know, I looked them in their eyes, and the eyes are the windows to anyone's soul. And when you start seeing a light in someone's soul that was not there before, now we talk about something that's tangible, but something that's invaluable. It's hope. And so that's when I knew that accounting and financial planning, stock market, real estate, sure, but man, changing people's lives, there was just nothing like it.
Thank you, Nick. That was beautiful. And one way you've changed all our lives is it with an attitude of gratitude. Can you explain what that is and how we can use it?
You know, a lot of people understand that, you know, happiness doesn't come when you have something or achieve something or have enough affirmation by enough people or have 10 million people on Facebook. It's understanding that when we are made of the soul, spirit, mind, and body, there are things that we can set goals towards achieving and tangible things. I'm not saying money is bad, but money itself doesn't make you happy. In fact, I've met more poor people happy than rich people. And I think it's because the poor people or people who have less than others are actually intentionally thankful for what they have. They count their blessings. And the grounding of my attitude of gratitude actually came from my parents who fled former Yugoslavia in the 1960s and were actually in refugee camps before they went to Australia. So they always told us to never forget those people who have less than us. But in 2020, Alan, I want everyone to know that I'm just like everyone else. We all have ups and downs and higher highs and lower lows. And 2020, we all know, has affected us all in some way, shape, or form, but mostly for the negative. Now, is it all bad, 2020? No. Are there things that we could still be thankful for? Sure. But 2020 was so bad for me. I'm the motivational speaker who can't motivate himself to get up off the floor. I was stuck in the yuck. But one of those things that helped me to get out of that yuck is the attitude of gratitude, and not just to be thankful for what I do have and the things that I did achieve, but actually it was so bad, Alan, this year that I had to go back to those bad days and think to myself, wow, in the last 3 years, I've had a lot of bad days, but this and this and this could have been even worse. And it's when you reframe your thinking and approach of challenges, understanding that we should never be allergic to challenges or resistance, because when you go through what you've gone through, you grow through what you've been through. And we all become stronger. And without resistance, there's no resilience. So don't be allergic to challenges. And I'm really looking forward to helping people reframe, Alan, how they can approach their challenges and see obstacles in opportunities.
That brings me to the next question. How do we turn obstacles into opportunities?
I think it's first a choice to not give up, and us to understand and remember where we've come from. We never forget where we came from. We never, just live in the present without thinking about the future. But it's so important to be present, but thinking of the future, but never forgetting the past. And us forgetting the past is one of the greatest, I would say, losses of life. Because if you actually sat down and you wrote down your last crisis, we all know that 2020 is not the last year that the world will be in crisis. We had the global economic crisis, '08 to 2012, and many opportunities were birthed out of that one. But as we go through 2020 and into the new year of 2021, I think it's first a decision to not give up. Second of all, to understand that this is not the last crisis, and you've been through other crises. This is not the first one. And you've learned this and this and this in the last one. In fact, if you sit down and write out those three top lessons that you learned in the last crisis or obstacle, if you spend maybe, I think, 20 to 30 more minutes just sitting, just being, just reflecting, just meditating on that, you might actually be surprised to discover another 3 or 4 life lessons that could be used today in today's crisis. So don't forget the past, grow from this. You will, if you decide to keep on going and having the approach that, look, we can be disabled by fear more than me being disabled without arms and legs about the future. But let's focus on what we do know. Let's focus on what we can change and take one step at a time.
Thank you, Nick. Einstein once said, the most important question you'll ever ask yourself is if the universe is a friendly place or not. And that for me has been a very good mantra to use in this exciting year, 2020. There's no doubt that it's been a challenging year, but as you said, it's also the year in my life that I've been able to grow most as a person. How have you and your family navigated through 2020 and the coronavirus?
I emailed everyone in January, actually the second or third week of January. I told everyone, I didn't tell them to buy toilet paper, but I told them to get out of the stock market and stock up with food and buy masks. Masks are going to be gold. And so I've traveled 2,500 plane rides around the world. I've been to 74 countries, 21 presidents and vice presidents, and I actually do watch the world news. There's many things that are missed, and even though I caught it pretty quickly and saw the news of it, we started getting all our contracts for me speaking around the world canceled or postponed. And it was quite difficult to not know at that point, well, wait a second, that's how I make my living. Apart from my nonprofit organization, which is Life Without Limbs, which is a faith-based ministry, my company really hurt a lot. As you can imagine, without being diversified, and really the bread and butter was me speaking around the world, I had to let go of someone very close to me. And it was really, really rough, really, really tough. So I went through numbness. I didn't really talk for about a month. And when I started opening my mouth, I actually noticed my unique accent, being Australian born and raised, and then now living in America for the last 17 years. Um, it was something that I had to internalize first to process. I went through a little of anxiety and panic in March, April, and I went through actually some anger. Alan, many people don't know that I just moved also states across the country. And it's rough trying to move a family of four children. And then, when I've built a support system around me, including caregivers and wheelchair repairmen, and many other things, even just the normal things, apart from it being a COVID year. It's been quite a challenging year for all of us. And in fact, I tell people it's really good to talk things through with someone. And I think in 2020, Alan rediscovered the importance of true friendships. Is the world a friendly world? Well, for the most part, we could probably say yes, but it's not going to be beneficial to you unless you know what a friend is. And so when motivational speakers say you're not alone, what you got to also understand is take it to the next step and talk to someone. And so I'm actually going through counseling right now, Alan. It's not from a starvation, desperate devastation stance. No, in fact, the last 30 to 40 days, things have turned around quite handsomely. And we're very, very thankful for the stability after being here in Texas for 6 months. But I just know that a lot of the mess of 2020 messed with my head as well. And there are some things that I've even now realized there are some things that I've never gone through counseling for since age 20. I feel like I've gone through a lot the first 20 years, but I'm just about 40, and there were some other things that happened after Nick turned 20. And it's good to talk to someone, whether it's a professional counselor or even just writing down two different friends' names right now and giving them a call in alternating weeks, just for them to hear your voice and you to hear theirs. Suicide, depression, anxiety, pornographic addiction, all these things that our friends maybe have struggled with before, or maybe even never struggled with before, are going through that right now, and they're feeling alone. But didn't have the courage, or they're disabled with the fear of inadequacy of why should I call someone else when I don't even know what to say? What do I say? How's it going to feel? But really, this should not and never have been called social distancing. It should have been called safe distancing, because we are social human beings and we are friendly for the most part. And there are friends in our lives that need us and we need them. And so to make sure that we do our part for our own sake, just because you see broken pieces right now in your life, it doesn't mean that beautiful things cannot come from them. And so we must have faith. We must believe in something we do not see, and believe the good in everyone, and believe that together we're stronger, and believe you're going to get through this as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. For me, friends have been a godsend in the last couple of months, and I've tried to get out in nature as much as possible to enjoy the beauty there while being with friends. And my dog, wow, she's been a godsend as well. Do you have animals in the house?
We have two guinea pigs for the kid. In our transitional move, we never had a pet, and so the kids needed something to distract them a little bit, and so we have two guinea pigs. But it seems like 2021 we're going to get a couple big dogs, so looking forward to that.
What type of dogs?
I want to get two big English mastiffs, and my wife's going to get a Labrador poodle,
Wow.
Labradoodle or something like that.
Yeah, my sister's got three of them.
Yeah, there you go. Good dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're about to enjoy nature a little bit more and get some land eventually out here in Texas.
Yeah. I have a border collie, which is a sheepdog, and if you remember from the time when you were in Copenhagen in 2013, there's loads of lakes and beautiful trails. So we've explored them all.
Yeah, no, dogs are beautiful. I'll never forget my dog that we had when I was, I think, 18 or 19 years old, and just a bond, a beautiful bond.
So, Nick, thank you for being so honest. One of the biggest teachers I think we have in our life is giving yourself the possibility to fail and learning from it. How's that been true in your life?
Look, if anyone doesn't believe that you're going to fail at something, you're absolutely delusional. And if anybody demands yourself or someone else 100% perfection, then you're delusional. And so the beautiful thing is when you adopt and adapt and reframe failure as not a status or a conclusion or a judgment, as much as actually your classroom. That's when you realize that no matter what you go through, no matter how you fall, no matter how you fail, failure is my classroom. And we are all going through life and this journey of life through the ups and downs. Sometimes people fail us, circumstances out of our control cause us to fail. But it doesn't mean that, I'm not saying that you can't cry. You have to cry. You can sit on that couch and eat potato chips and, drink a couple beers because, you lost a job. That is really, really hard. Some of us have lost loved ones recently and could never even say goodbye. We go to different things sometimes as human beings to mourn, to grieve, and we all go through those emotions. We must embrace what we feel. You can't suppress it, ignore it, or repress it because that's an unhealthy thing. But eventually, it takes sometimes a guy without arms and legs to kick you and say, hey, okay, enough's enough. It's time to get back up and go and get your resume. And this is not the end. This is not a conclusion. You're not a failure. This is part of the process of who you're supposed to be and becoming in the process.
And one of the things I think that is so beautiful about you and what makes you such a great teacher is your honesty. And yeah, we really appreciate you sharing that with us today, Nick.
Yeah, no, look, there's two things that every speaker needs. You need reputation and then authenticity and transparency. And so, the credibility of just the people giving that credibility on a subconscious level as they see me get up on stage at first, seeing, wow, this man has strength, peace, courage. He's done a lot in his life. Maybe possibly achieved, enough in two lifetimes already, and he's not barely 40. And so this is just a testament of when you give your broken pieces a chance, when you get out of the way of your own way, and going for it, and dreaming big, never giving up. Anyone who says all you need is positivity is a liar, because there's a lot more than what we really need, which is just positivity. Positivity, to me, shouldn't be a coping mechanism as much as a direct end result, because you know the truth of the value of who you are, your purpose in life, and the potential of your full potential, if you will. Reaching your full potential. I'm not saying that everything is possible. Alan, you know me very well. I'm never a speaker to say that everything is possible because that's also a lie. But what we do understand is my possible is possible, and that's what I'm going for.
And as you tell us, Nick, we are the miracle.
Yeah, no, look, everyone has a story. Everyone has a past. Everyone has had challenges that, we're still here today. We're endured that. And we're wiser, we're more discerning. I think we sometimes also need to give ourselves some grace and forgive ourselves of the things we've done wrong. That in order we can have peace within ourselves, learn from the past, and move onward and upward. And to have met at age 24 a 19-month-old little boy and a crowd with no arms, no legs, just like me, I tell you, it was an incredible day where it was as if heaven was smiling and says, sometimes I don't give you a miracle, but you can be one. And, if I can just help someone not give up, someone, not become an alcoholic or get off an addiction, or heal a relationship, or have them find the truth of their own value, to not give up in their own life, well, then that's a life worth living.
And that reminds me of 2013 when you were in Denmark and we gave thousands of school children an afternoon they'd never forget with James Vujicic, and that was by far and away the best day in my working life. You brought a tear to everybody's eyes. So thank you again for that, Nick.
It was a highlight for me too, Alan, and to get to know you and your family. And we actually have a curriculum now at the website of aiacurriculum.org for students. We understand that many governments have been aware for the last 3 years of the importance of teaching this next generation, not just academics, but also values, to help them not just hear us older people say, do this or don't do that, and that is bad because I said so, as much as them having a self-awareness, social awareness, and a collaborative academic social-emotional learning environment where they can learn and set up those class discussions that you really pull out the maturity and crystallization of people's views of life itself and themselves and those around them, wherein we must understand that with values, our work, our words, our deeds, our actions, they do affect the world around us. We all are world changers. So, Alan, I'm very excited about this new season of life where I'm not traveling as much as I used to, and I kind of like that a lot. I love being with my family. It's opened up a lot of opportunities. I'm actually starting 2 companies right now as we speak for 2021, and becoming more diverse in business that way. But man, when you have a mission and a vision to make a difference in the world, it only starts with making a little bit of difference in one person's world. And you never know how much your words, your encouragement, and just your friendship could really help them along. They may never be able to thank you. I was able to actually go see my janitor last year in Australia and thanked him face to face after all those years. And I tell you, it was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, that must have been a special moment, and I really appreciate you investing in children because they're the future. And if we're going to turn the world around, the kids are going to have to push us adults out of the way and maybe teach us the way it should be done with treating the planet and each other more like brothers and sisters.
Agreed.
So Nick, our time with you unfortunately is coming to an end, but we are so looking forward to having you in Copenhagen again next April, and I'm sure it's going to be as fantastic as last time.
I'm very much looking forward to it. It's such a beautiful country, and Copenhagen was so lovely. Thank you for driving me around as well, and I'll make sure that this time we're not just in and out.
No. So Merry Christmas to you and your family and all your friends and loved ones, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And remember to go and visit Nick and his Facebook page. He's got loads of cool things to share with you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.